Welcome to another wonderful episode of Wives Wind Down. Yes, tonight is the night for us to chill and kick back and relax and have some fun. And I'm so excited about tonight. Hey sis, hey princess. Hey Shaquanna, I see you girl. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Welcome to Wives Wind Down. Yes, I am your wonderful, your lovely host, Shonda White. And I'm so excited that you all are joining us tonight. I have been married for 12 years and happily married. And I started this outlet for a place where women, whether you're married, whether you're single, whether you've been married for 6 months, you're about to get married, or you've been married for 20 plus years, I wanted to create an outlet where we could just hang back, relax, have some good old girl talk, pull back the curtain on marriage and like what it takes and what all it goes into, like not just getting married, but staying married. I remember when I first got married, I was a little confused, because like, it was like, I knew all about, okay, this is how you get a man, this is how you find a man, whatever. And then you get married and you kind of just like, okay, now what do I do now? Like, what's after this? And so, I remember after talking to other women, I realized like, oh, okay, like this is normal marriage stuff. Like you're going to have your ups and downs and your highs and your lows. Like you're going to get through it. And so knowing that I had that tribe of women that I could confide in and that I could just keep it 100 with about, besides all the facades and the pretty pictures that we see on Instagram and everywhere, like I wanted to create that space so that whether you're newlywed or whether you've been married for a while or you aspire to get married, I wanted to keep it real about marriage and what it takes and like create that tribe. So that's why I created Wives Wind Down, and I'm so appreciative. I have some wonderful things that are in the pipeline and I'm so excited. So y'all keep me and this platform prayed up because I have a vision for what I see for this. And I just do this because I'm passionate and because I love and I love marriage and I love to show positive images of it. While also keeping it real about it. So without further ado, welcome everyone. I see y'all. Let me welcome my guest in tonight. Okay, I'm so excited. Yes. And we have such a treat tonight. Yes. Hey, Shaquanna.
Hey, I can't see you yet. Hold on, I'm waiting for...
Uh-oh.
There it is. Hey, girl. Oh, you look so cute.
What are you doing? No, you look fabulous, okay?
Please.
Listen, usually I'll throw on a little t-shirt, but I said because tonight we getting up and we getting dressed.
Yes.
I'm going to put on a little something from my girl.
Thank you, girl. You know, I love a good look. That's my love language.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, teach us these love languages. I like that one.
Yes.
Yes. Well, before we get into it, and Kiki, hey y'all, hey Angela, hey Ann, good to see y'all, hey Vicky. Let me introduce all of you all to my wonderful guest for tonight. All right, Shaquanna Chappelle, image and style expert, helps women transform the way they view their style so they can show up with confidence. She has helped dozens of women break out of their comfort zone, identify their unique style, and create confident and bold looks. Women who have worked with Shaquanna have gained an extra boost of confidence when climbing the corporate ladder, negotiating deals, and securing speaking engagements for high-profile conferences. Shaquanna's main mission is to help women remove any self-consciousness towards their image and consistently make stylish choices, because we all could use a little help with that. So everyone, clap it up in the chat and give it up for Shaquanna!
Hey, I'm so excited to be here, Shonda. You know you're one of my favorites, so I was excited about this.
Listen, ditto, right back at you. And listen, I'm looking at the hair, the necklace, the top, like...
Girl, I pulled it together at the last minute. It's been a day, okay?
Well, you don't look like what you've been through. You look fabulous, sis, like for real.
Okay.
So tell me, how have you been during this quarantine? How have you been feeling?
I think we're gonna need like a break from this quarantine stuff. It's been interesting. It's been a roller coaster, starting. So last year when it started, it was like a huge adjustment, right? It was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Is this really happening? And then I guess just by nature of who I am and who God called me to be, he was like, okay, this is your perfect time to get your book out, right? So the Get Up and Get Dressed kept me busy in 2020, okay? And kind of brought some more joy back to my year. And now during this year, it's like, it's still kind of weird because it's like, okay, what are we doing with the whole, vaccination? Are we opening up? Like, trying to figure that all out. But honestly, I have so many things keeping me busy that I'm just like, I'm blessed, and I thank God every day for just keeping me throughout all of the mess that's going on in the world. But I'm doing okay, and therapy helps. I plug that in too.
Amen to that. Yes, I can't wait to get into the book and everything later, but I'm so glad that you had that as like an outlet, because I know firsthand how therapeutic that can be, and therapy. So I'm so glad that you've had an outlet and you've done things to kind of help give you happiness, even despite everything, because that was just really important during this quarantine. Like as women, especially, you got to find and like go back to like, what is it that I enjoy doing? What is it that I love? Because it's hard. So I'm glad that you found that. And I was curious to know during this quarantine, like, what's been your go-to like outfits, since most of us I work from home? Like, do you have a go-to sweatsuit, or you like, no, I have my go-to earrings and top? What is it, sis? Give us the tea.
Listen, quarantine fashion has been a thing. So definitely invested in a lot more cute loungewear, right? So my whole movement, get up and get dressed. Even though you're working from home, I know you want to put on the bonnet, stay in your pajamas, but still there is power in getting dressed and showing up with confidence, because you still have to perform and deliver at work, right? So I invested in a lot of cute loungewear that like is comfortable around the house but still makes me feel like really cute and jazzed up. I still wear jewelry, so I'll wear earrings, maybe not a necklace like this
Yeah.
statement, but something simple. Headbands were my thing, especially the beginning of last year. Girl, my hair was through, okay? And I did not have it in a protective style or anything. So like I'll put it in a ponytail, put a cute headband on, and when they see me on video calls, all they see is this, so it's okay. But yeah, just investing in cute things that still make me feel good. I'll throw on a cute lip gloss, lipstick. So it wasn't 100% about clothes for me, even though I did, invest in nice t-shirts, quality t-shirts I could wear around the house and lounge wear, but also just doing small things like putting on a lipstick, combing my hair, putting on a cute headband, things like that really helped me during this quarantine fashion moment.
Yes, I love that. And I love that you said headbands, because I used to not be a big headband girl. I don't know what it was, but here lately I find myself like, dang, I wish I had a blue one right now. I wish I had a green one. And so I'm like, I might even go this weekend and pick up a few more, because sometimes, the edges are up here. It might be looking a mess, but the back is still kind of flowy and you can like get away with it. Or like you said, put in a ponytail. See, you giving us tips already.
And that's my go-to. I have a red floral one that's really, really cute and goes with so many things. And usually I'll put that red one on with a red lip, go about my business. And I also have a leopard one as well, and that goes with like almost everything. So
Yes.
tips for those who want some headbands or something.
That's why you're the expert. And I feel you on the whole, like, like at least for me, like for work, I at least will put on a nice top. And like usually I don't wear like tonight, but like actually wore this to work today because I do love a good earring. Not always the lip, it just depends on how I feel. But I'm like, I at least need to put on like a cute top, and I don't know what everybody else is looking like, but as for me in my house, this is what we're doing. And it does help. It really does like change your attitude and kind of like get you up and going.
Yep, absolutely.
So let's go back to the beginning. Because I found this very interesting in your book, Get Up and Get Dressed, which I love. Like you can tell you put your heart and soul in it, sis, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I personally receive questions all the time from women about like heartache and heartbreaks and like, how do you get through? How do you keep going? Or how do I just deal with it? And I love what you wrote when you said heartbreaks are God's way of telling us that something better is coming. Yes. I thought that was so beautiful. Before you met your husband, though, what would you say was like one of your hardest breakups? or even like as you were going through that breakup, like what helped you to kind of like focus on what you needed to be doing and like getting over it?
Whew. Okay, so yeah, the break up before I met my husband is in the book, Get Up and Get Dressed. And one of the things that I was going through was, and this was back in like college, now looking back, I'm like, man, I was so young, like young and dumb phase, right? But my feelings and my emotions and the journey that God took me through were valid at that time. And I feel like, there's always a time and place for what God brings you or takes you through. And I had got to a point where I was just like, I deserve better, right? Like, I was just like, I deserve more than what I'm receiving. Mm-hmm. And I distinctly remember one night, it was during the situationship, right? Because that's what it was by the end of it. A situationship. I was in my apartment bed crying and just bawling tears. And I was asking God, I said, God, I'm at my breaking point. Send me someone in due time. Send me someone who's going to love me and respect me and treat me as the queen I am. And I think that moment just really helped me realize my self-worth and my value. And I had to snap back. I said, Shaquanna, you're too good for this, right? And I carried that. I'm like, there's things I'm just too good. You know how people be like, oh, she thinks she's too good. Yes, I am too good for things, for something. And that was my first moment where I realized I have value, I have worth, I'm worth more than what I'm being put through. And I leaned on God. The relationship that I built with God started in college. Built the relationship with God for myself, right? Mm-hmm. Started in college. And so I just continued to lean on him, pray, and really have faith and that he was going to send my husband. And he did. Because my husband was with my next relationship. So, I just think I got to a breaking point. And for myself, I just had to realize, like, Shaquanna, you're too good for this. God did not create you to be on this earth in pain and just, damage, even though I did take a lot of that damage into my next relationship, I had to realize that this isn't normal, basically. Mm-hmm. And once I realized that and leaned more on God, it all worked out.
I love that. Do you feel like you reached, because I feel like we all have that aha moment of this isn't normal. Like, hey, Claudine. Oh, she said, hey, WWD fam, you ladies look lovely. Doesn't Shaquanna look lovely? Yes.
Thank you.
But to that point, this isn't normal. Like, I was just tweeting about that earlier, because we see these toxic relationships unfortunately play out in the public eye. Yes. But you saw for yourself, which I did too. Like, this isn't like toxic isn't normal. Like, do you feel like, not to say that you almost had to go through that, but because that heartbreak was so tough, and like I always like to say, sometimes our toughest breakups toughen us up. Do you feel like because it was so like toxic and like so heart-wrenching that, which I don't think everybody has to go through that, but do you feel like that's what helped you to get to that, you know what, this isn't normal?
Yeah. Because I had to learn, like, we should lean on God when we're struggling and going through things, but sometimes God takes us through things to teach us a lesson. And I honestly feel like if I hadn't gone through that, I would have never learned or would delay my lesson, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I just feel like I had to go through that to learn. I don't think it's because I think there's like a meme where they're saying like Black women should be loved without suffering first or whatever. And I do agree. We don't deserve to suffer. But I do think that we are placed in positions where we have to tap into who we truly are, understand our purpose, and get rid of everything that doesn't align with that. And a lot of times that's relationships.
Almost 9 times out of 10, it's like out of alignment is that relationship. You're right. Woo, that's a good one. That's a good one. Now, clearly God had something better for you, which we are so excited about, because now you've been married for 8 years and your husband, you and him were college sweethearts, which is so cute. So I wanted to know, like, how did you all navigate like dating and being in a relationship in college? Because we all know it's like a pivotal moment in your life and you're trying to figure yourself out, you're growing. So how were you all able to navigate that as like college students, like almost teenagers to early 20s,
Right, right. So we met during, it was last semester of senior year. So we weren't like college couple for too long, right?
Okay.
But sometimes I miss those days. Like I miss college in general sometimes.
Yeah.
And navigating a relationship, I mean, honestly, my roommate at the time, she used to call us the inseparables. We spent all our time together. When we weren't, like, he would walk me to class. We did not have a class together. I want to say maybe one time he sat in the class or something like that. And then when we're not in class, when we're not, out eating or on campus eating, I'm either in his apartment or he's in my apartment. So we were just always together. But I love that because it really set the tone, I think, for the rest of our marriage. Because now it's like we have our time apart. Now that we're older, we're like, okay, you gotta do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing. But still we both still yearn to just, I gotta be close to her, I need to be close to her or him or whatever. But that's how we navigated. At first it was just one semester. We just were always with each other. We had some mutual friends as well. So that's what it was. And we dated. We still went. Our first date was TGI Fridays. And on the date, his car broke down. And like we had to get his friend to come and help us or whatever. And he was probably thinking like, oh my gosh, why did my car break down on our first date? But I honestly, I didn't think too much of it. I don't know. I was just like, we're in college, so what?
Yeah.
But yeah, we just had a lot of fun moments where we were still young and just having fun, not having too many cares in the world. And we just spent a lot of quality time with each other in the beginning.
That's cute. I love that you didn't give up on him just because his car broke down. It reminds me of the Michelle and Barack Obama story, and how he had that little hoopty ride.
Yep.
But I love that, especially because we live in this culture now where it's like, get that bag, sis, and he got to be doing this for you. He got to buy you that Birkin bag. And it's like, you know what? His car broke down on the first date. But clearly what was most important is that y'all had that chemistry. And that you can't deny. No, regardless of how much money you have or not, or what possessions, you can't deny that chemistry. And clearly y'all had it because y'all still together.
Yes. And now he's like obsessed with cars or whatever. I have to remind him of that story. We don't talk about it often, but I'm gonna remind him.
Yes. Like, now don't forget now, okay?
Right.
Okay. Now, you all have been married for 8 years, but I found it interesting in your book. You talked about this grieving period that you had. I'm just going to read a quick little excerpt. And you said, after getting married and building my first home with my husband, I started a new position of work. Yes, these were seemingly good life changes, but I didn't know how to process them. I needed to mourn what I had lost. Yes, I was happily married, but I needed to grieve my singleness. Starting a new role at work was great, but I had to grieve the comfort of my previous and first job in corporate America. Before I realized I needed to properly grieve what I had lost in my season of leveling up, I had feelings of sadness that resulted in me not feeling or looking like myself. And so it just really stuck out to me when you talked about this grieving process. So I wanted you to kind of share, like, talk to us about that season. And because it sounds like externally everything appeared fine, it appeared great, but internally you were dealing with some emotional weights and baggage.
Yeah, absolutely. So we live in a very level up society, right? Like, go get your bag, sis.
100%.
Is get the job, get the husband, get the house, and all that stuff. And while those are amazing changes, and I'm not knocking them, they're big life changes. So getting married is a huge life change. We had built the house, that and the process that we were going through, because that was in like 2012, and I think we were out of the recession by then, but the process was like extremely strict, especially for us being, of course, because we're first time home buyers. So like going through that and processing that. And then it was my first move in my career. And so I'm just like processing, like I said, the comfort of my job. So it's like all these great things, but it moved very quick. It was very fast. It was happening all at the same time. And, while those were great and exciting things, I needed to grieve who I was before I leveled up, because I was so comfortable. I was very, very comfortable in who I was, and especially like as a single woman, of course, even though we were dating and engaged, it's like, oh, I'm a married woman now. So who am I now? What can I not do? You know, even if you go through all the premarital counseling, you do all the things that you do when you first get married,
Mm-hmm.
you'll have to apply it to reality. Like, okay, Shaquanna, you are married now. Like, you can't do things when you know that you did when you were single or when y'all were just dating. And then, like, what changes? It's just a weird moment, and sometimes it's very hard to explain. But basically, it's just you have to grieve your old way of living, your old habits, and you have to adjust, process, and adjust to who you are now. When God takes you to different levels, yes, go to that level, let him elevate you, but you have to process and leave behind who you were before, because the same way you operated then at the lower level is not the same level you can or the same way you can operate at the highest level. So I had to go through this moment of processing and weeding out the old Shaquanna, and it was all happening at the same moment, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. I was like, who am I? What's going on? Like, yes, this is great, because meanwhile you got people in your ear like, oh, congratulations, great, you're doing a good job. And I'm like, okay, but this is all new to me, and I don't know how to handle it. So that was actually the first time that I started therapy as well, because I was just like, there's a lot happening and I don't know what to do.
That is good. I can relate to so much of that. Like, that's part of the reason why I started this, because I experienced, I didn't even realize that's what it was. Basically, like you said, grieving like your old self and like leaving that self behind, because you can get lost in the sauce really quickly, especially like we got married in the middle of the recession, and like you trying to figure out, okay, I'm a wife now, but what does that mean? Like, but I still want to stay true to myself. Like, what is like, it's kind of like this, and that's with almost any transition in life. When you graduate from college, you're like, okay, who am I now? Post college, like, what does my life look like? So I can that totally resonates with me. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, we have to talk about that, because I think that's true for so many women in terms of that type of transition.
And we don't realize it because, like I said, we're in a level up society. We're always chasing the next. But when you're the next, you're going to have to take a moment to just process and think. And luckily now that I'm older and a little bit more experienced, I do. Every time I feel a shift or feel like God is elevating me to another level, I spend a lot of time with him, with my journal, because I'm like, I gotta process this out. And it builds character, you know, so.
I love that. When you feel that shift, like, that's when you got to spend more time, because it's so easy to get caught up in that level up and that shift, and you might, like, God might be trying to take you to another level, but you're scared and you're fearful, but that's where God wants you to go. And so if you're not talking to him, you don't know how you're supposed to move. So, whew, I just felt that in my spirit. Yes, girl. You are talking to me, honey. Whew, thank you, Lord. You know, you talk about you and your husband, how you all are different, almost completely opposite in so many ways. And sometimes we assume that, like, when we get married, we have to be like the same person. They have to love everything we do. But for you two, like, how does that work and help balance you guys out, knowing that you all are like completely opposites? And like, feel free to share examples of like how you all are opposites.
Yes, the biggest opposite. He's an extrovert. I'm an introvert. So
I had them flipped.
Really? It seems like that. So this is what makes it kind of funny. So I'm a social introvert, meaning I need to be recharged, reset. I need to be in my own bubble. But when it comes to meeting new people, if we're out, you know, talking to other people, I'm more social.
Okay.
And it doesn't take me as much to warm up to talk to people, right? Whereas he's an extrovert, meaning he has to be around. Like, that's how he gets his energy is from other people. But if he don't know you, it takes a while for him to warm up. So if we are somewhere, we're meeting someone new, let's just say like a new couple, for instance, I'm the one who's talking the most, whereas he's not. But once he warms up to you, it's on and popping, where I start to fade away. So I'm like, I need to recharge. I need my moment. So that's the biggest, the biggest opposite that we have, and it works out because you know he doesn't he doesn't necessarily need me all the time. So there's like times where he'd be like, I you know, I gotta go, you know, do this, gotta do that, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be at home like chilling. He's like, okay. And that's our time kind of apart. But yeah, that's the biggest way that we're opposite. And then there's like little things like we're both not the cleanest, but I to straighten up more than he does, if that makes sense.
100%.
So that's one. And then I don't know. I don't know if he's still in here. I know he was in here at first.
Oh, hey.
When it comes to like money, he's spending a little bit more now. And I think it's because of the pandemic. He's just been ordering stuff online. But he can hold $1 more than I can, put it like that. So those are key ways that we are definitely opposite.
I love it. But, you know, there's this beautiful balance with it because I feel you on a lot of the same type of differences, opposites. I feel you on a lot of that. But I have found it definitely creates this healthy balance because with me being an extrovert, which I don't know, with quarantine, I might be regressing to, I don't know, I might be changing. I don't know. It's all different. I know. It's like, I don't know if I want to be around people anymore. It's weird. I don't know. But I love this, but I'm like, it's virtual. I don't have to go anywhere. But I do miss people. But yeah, it's just interesting how things can play out and how opposites can just it can still bring about balance. And especially because if both of us was an extrovert, I don't know. And like I can be more he can be talkative, but I'm probably more talkative. If we both talks too much, oh my gosh, like
exactly. It's almost better if you are opposite. Like
yes.
I too many couples where like they're exactly the same, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, but to each his own, everything works. So whether you're the same or whether you're completely different, it's whatever's best for your household. So let's talk about this book a little bit more. In one of your chapters, you affirm that you're never fully dressed without God, which is so beautiful. Tell us, what was that aha moment that kind of led you to that? And even to me, I thought it was a great summation of the book, me personally, but like what led you to that beautiful metaphor of that? And like, you know, what kind of led you to even write this book?
Yes. So get up and get dressed. Man, I tell you, I was not planning on writing this book, and I definitely did not know where this whole get up and get dressed thing was going to go. All I know is I was in my prayer closet, and God literally downloaded the title, the chapters, everything to me. So I said, okay, I got to do it right. And I liked the phrase get up and get dressed. It was catchy because it's like, duh, I'm a style expert. I help women get dressed. It makes sense. But as he was downloading the chapters, as I was outlining the chapters and thinking of, you know, or putting the content and starting to write it, I was like, wow, get up and get dressed. You know, it's not just about the clothes you wear, but it's getting dressed in the fullness of God. So in the book, I talk about discovering your purpose, navigating heartbreak, overcoming fear, dealing with comparison and depression, and all of these different experiences that we as women go through way more often than we think.
Yeah.
What does it really mean to get dressed in the fullness of God? Meaning, how are you leaning on him? How are you spending time with him? Are you getting dressed in his image? Are you tapping into who he says you are? That's what getting dressed is, right? Is your purpose aligned with him? Like, all those different things, just tapping into what God says about us, what his word says about us. That is what getting dressed means. So, you know, when I had that aha moment, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, like that's it. And explain me as a person and my brand all just perfectly. So when I was saying you're never fully dressed without God, it was meaning, yeah, sis, you can put on a cute outfit. You could throw on a cute outfit all you want, but you're not fully dressed if you are not confident in yourself, confident in God, if you're not fully surrendered to Him, if you're not walking in your purpose and aligned with Him, you're still not dressed. So you can have on the cute makeup and outfit all day if you want, but you're not fully dressed until you are who God, or you're striving and always aiming for who God has called you to be. So that's what I meant by you're never fully dressed until you have God.
I love it. It's so clever. And like you said, it fits who you are because you exude that. And it's not just in the clothes you wear because you are a fashionista. So you be dressed in the nines. But when that same beauty is reflected from the inside out, and God's love is reflected through that, like you said, that's being fully dressed.
Yes.
Get up and get dressed.
Yes. Get up and get dressed. Get up and get dressed.
Yes. I love that. I think it's beautiful. Now, based on, I know you've worked with a lot of a lot of clients as you're styling and consultations and stuff, but what do you say to a woman who wants to get up and get dressed, but she's struggling with it, maybe because it's quarantine and she hasn't felt motivated, or she's managing mommyhood and her professional career and stuff? Like, what do you say to that woman who's really struggling to like get up and get dressed, but it's like it's in her, but she hasn't really been motivated besides like go get her book?
Yes. So one of the things, like, because we're all facing it, right? And I've had clients where they're like, I need to spruce it up. I'm in work mode. I'm in mommy mode. I'm in wife mode. And what I love for women to do, and I do it all the time, and I'm very intentional about it, is I make sure that I find time to center with myself and really figure and tap into who are you, Shaquanna? Like, I need you to figure out your why, figure out who you are, tap back into that. I had one client, she was dealing with work and relationship stuff and, her son and, that whole thing. And I asked her, I was like, well, who are you? Because your personal style is what it says, personal. It's you. Your style is not what you see in the magazine, what you see on Instagram, what you see on the mannequin. Your style is a reflection of you. And how do you expect to spruce up your style, to elevate your style, if you don't even know who you are? You don't even pour into yourself or put time into yourself. So that's why I usually tell them, and I always say, I think I do have a chapter called Your Style is Your Mindset. What you think about yourself and who you are is reflected on the outside. So you have to be intentional and take it serious enough to pour into yourself, tap back into who you are. You may need to learn yourself again. There's a lot of people who are learning or need to learn more about themselves because of this pandemic, but whoever that person is, that will immediately translate to your style. You just have to tap into that. And that's what I help women do, right? I help women kind of figure that all out, and we figure out your style. But once you are intentional about learning who you are again, then everything else will kind of fall into place. So that's what I will tell a woman. I'm like, okay, you see the problem, you know that you want to spruce up your style, but you don't know where to start, but then you're doing all of the things. I need you to take a break. I need you to sit down. I need you to spend time with yourself. I need you to start doing the things that you love to do or whatever, rediscover yourself so you can redefine your style. It all happens, in order that way.
I'm glad you said that, because I was wondering if that's like some of the processes that you take your clients through, like, especially somebody might be tuning in now or the replay and wondering like, well, what could she help me do? So it sounds like you kind of help them go through that journey of starting from like square one foundation, like, who are you? Because I love that you said it about like your personal style is your personal style. Like, so if you want to wear prints on top of prints on top of prints, that's just who you are, because maybe you love color or you're stuck in the 80s and the 90s like me. I don't know.
No, you're not, Shauna.
I kind of am. I just be low key.
Okay, I got it.
There are things that I seen, I'm like, oh, and my husband's like, really? But sometimes I just ignore them. I'm like, yes, I know it's a lot of color, but
you do wear a lot of color, but you wear it nice. It doesn't look like 80s and 90s like fashion or style, but I like your colors, what you wear.
thank you. So you're saying to me, style expert, that you can kind of be stuck in the decade and it might not look well? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, depending on how you style it, right?
Okay.
Some people who are like literally stuck in that decade and they just can't get out. But then there are a lot of people who take bits and pieces because fashion style, it repeats itself.
It
Fashion
does.
repeats itself. So you can take bits and pieces from those decades and then make it your own. That's the whole point. Like, there's nothing wrong with being inspired by a decade, by a person, whatever. The whole point is about making it your own. And that, yeah, when I take my clients through that journey to style confidence, we touch on your mindset, but then we touch on how can we make this your own so it reflects your true personality. Especially most of my clients are corporate women and also people, women who are building brands and businesses. And so it's super important that as they're climbing the ladder, as they're putting themselves out there for their business, you know, we as humans visually, we see someone first, right? Like when people hop on this live, they see us first before they engage in a conversation. So the visual aspect is really important for human nature. So you always want to make sure you're dressed to reflect who God said you are, but your personality, and what you represent, all of that can be reflected in your style.
Dress to reflect who God says you are.
Yes.
I'm writing that down. That's a good word right there. When you and your husband met, did you have to kind of be like his style guru, or do you feel like he had enough style and swagger, or did you have to tweak it? Because to me, I feel like style and fashion is one of those, it's a cosmetic thing. Like, you can't change a man, but you can kind of help him with a style. Did you have to go through that at times?
I don't know. Well, I always when I first met my husband, I really loved, like, he was, what you call, like a Caesar cut, whatever, regular haircut.
Yes.
He wore button-ups and jeans and loafers, and I really liked that because I was like, oh, he's not these, like, little raggedy boys on campus with their pants hanging out. Like, he's not like that. I like that. I like that style. He actually has gone through a transformation or a transition where his style has changed, and that's why he's ordering a lot more, Ryan, if he's there. But he's into sneakers now, and it's become more casual. So I help him sometimes. Like, I'll help him with, like, maybe more so on the formal side if we're going, somewhere very formal.
Oh, yes.
But other than that, I let him do his thing. Because some people think, like, oh, you're into style, then that means he needs. And I'm like, no. Just because I'm a style expert, I like to get dressed, and I like to help women get dressed, doesn't mean that he needs to be that either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to pressure him. Now, if he walk out the house, like, if he walk out the house with wrinkled pants, or, like, I do tell him, I'm like, you're wrinkled, right?
I'm the wrinkled one.
Oh, really? Well, your husband's a Kappa, right?
Yes.
Okay, I get that.
I don't believe in ironing. I'm just gonna be transparent. I just don't. I believe in it, but I just don't like to make time for it. So I'll be the one. He'll be looking at me like, you wrinkle, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna be sitting down anyway.
All right.
Shaquanna's like, we can't be friends anymore.
It's okay, sis. I won't judge you. You still cute, though.
Thank you. Yes. Claudine said, I'm the wrinkle one too, and my husband is a Kappa too. See? Claudine, I feel you, girl. Fit with.
Girl, because those are serious, honey.
Listen, it's a whole other thing. But, it's interesting because I asked you that question, not just because you're a fashionista and a style expert, but, like, with my husband, I felt like he was still on that classic style. And I was like, hold on, I don't need you going to dad clothes just yet. Like, I need you to, it's fresh and fly. And it's so funny that you mentioned that ordering the shoes. It's like now that they're more casual and stuff, it's like, oh, I gotta get these kicks and that kicks. And now he calls himself a sneakerhead. I'm like, when did you become a sneakerhead? Like,
my husband's making plans for one of the rooms to turn into a sneaker closet. I was like, don't even have enough. He was like, well, when I get it up, I was like, okay, when you get it up to that point, you can have that room.
I love that you said you don't even have enough. Like, stop.
Oh God.
And my thing is, if you're gonna have it, at least wear it. Like, why are you gonna buy some shoes and it's like you might wear them once a year? I don't know. I'm just like, I'm more practical. But I mean, I am the one with a shoe closet, so I guess I'm being a little hypocritical at the moment.
Maybe.
Sorry. I'm so glad he's not in here to hear this conversation, because he'd be like, are you for real? Somebody, Kathy, hey Kathy, she said, if it has to be ironed, I don't buy it. Amen. Like,
Iron. I don't know if you all like steamers. You can use a steamer too. I like steaming because it's actually kind of fun and therapeutic for me for some crazy reason, but that's another alternative too.
That is. It's so funny. One of my mom's Christmas wishes was last year she wanted like this carpet cleaner that also turns into a steamer. And I was like, what? Who wants that for Christmas? She saw it on TV. So, I mean, I got it for her, but.
Oh, wow.
That's like, who wants a steamer? But.
2-in-1.
I guess. But you and Eric, y'all could have like an iron off or something and like.
And I think it's just how I was raised. I'm a military brat, so my dad, I get my style and everything from my dad is like to the T, honey. Like if you tell him, Dad, we got an event to go to in June, he already has his outfit laid out, iron, hanging up and everything. So I just grew up like every morning we'll get up and iron our clothes before we put it on. So that just kind of stuck with me.
That makes say less, sis. That makes a lot of sense. You should have led with military. I'm like, oh, never mind.
Yep, that's what it is.
Ooh, you can probably iron with the best of them. Yes.
I'm already plotting. I'm like, I told my husband, I was like, the iron we've had for years, and now I'm like, we need a new one. I want like a cool one.
We just bought a new one because ours went out. I don't know what, we didn't have it that long, but it went out, and it was one of those like shark, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
And it went out. My husband, like he had to get one that same day. Me, I would have never even known it was broke.
Oh Lord, see, that's that opposite thing where it balances it out.
I love it. I love that. Like you like your expression said it all. You was like, Shonda, no. I'm like, yeah, girl, I don't do it. It's like your whole perception of me changed.
Oh no, it didn't. Because you still be fly though. I see you in suits and your blazers.
Well, you know why? Because you really ain't got to iron blazers.
Okay, so you're being practical. That is it. You are including the essential items in your wardrobe that make it easy for you to get dressed. That's what's.
Tani asked a good question. She said, "What are your best lessons as a military brat?"
Ooh, child. Okay, so when we were talking about the life changes and how that was like the first experience going to therapy, that first or second session, I learned that I was a perfectionist. But I think a part of those life changes, while they were all good, I was very, very like structured and very controlling in a way to make sure everything lines up. And I think I kind of burnt myself out by doing that. And she was talking to me and I was, telling her my background, told her my dad was in the military. She was like, that makes sense why you're a perfectionist. And it did. Once I went back and kind of processed that, I'm a daddy's girl, love my daddy to death, but he did run the household where it was like, you gotta do that. You gotta get good grades. You gotta go to college. You gotta get a good job. You gotta do it. Like, it was just very structured. And I always felt like I had to please him. And I always felt like I had to please others and not mess up. And it's not like my dad like intentionally taught me that, but military, like when you're in the military for 20 plus years, it's ingrained in you. Everything you do is just very structured. And so I think I picked up on that. So that was one of the best lessons was, okay, you're a military brat, or, you know, you were raised in a military home. You were raised very structured. And I had to release some of those perfectionist ways. And then I think, well, we didn't move around too much. We maybe moved twice. So for most of my upbringing, we were in one spot. I was in one school, so didn't really move around a lot. But I think that whole structure, perfectionist, letting go of this perfect way of living, as an adult, that was the biggest and best lesson.
That's good. Thank you for asking that, Claudine. That's a great way to put it. And especially when you talk about the people pleasing, I always call myself a recovering people pleaser. So like, yeah, I could totally, especially like you said, military, that's a tight ship right there.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Ooh, oh my goodness. That is so good.
Yeah, I think it's because of age, but growing up.
Yeah. 100%. Oh, that was so good. Okay, so now I want to switch gears and do our fun rapid fire round that we do every week. Oh my gosh, because this has been phenomenal. And like, it's just so, I just feel it, sis. I feel your vibes and your energy, and I just love it. Oh, just love it. So, okay.
When we get together.
Right. Oh my gosh. Almost there. Almost vaccinated. Although they're saying that people are getting COVID. But that's a whole other story.
Yes.
Okay. So are you ready?
I think so.
Okay. And y'all feel free to chat it up in the chat with your responses as well. Oh, there we go. 3. I think it's 𝘰𝘰𝘮𝘕. She said, I will order a book. Yes, honey.
Link in my bio. Go ahead and order.
Yes. It's a great book, y'all. Really great book. Okay. First question. Are you here for you and your husband dressing alike or not?
Oh, gosh. Okay.
First thing that comes to your mind.
Oh my God, this is hard. I'm not good with this, Sean. You know, I like to explain stuff. Okay, so at first, no, because we were like, that ain't our style. Like, we good. But now, even he initiated he gonna say no. He initiated our last anniversary. He initiated us dressing alike. Okay, so now we're starting to do it more. I feel like we're becoming an old couple or something. But it's fun. I like it. So I don't know.
I like it. Hey, hubby. Thanks for joining and supporting your wife. We love to see it.
Yeah.
We love it. PDA, here for it or not?
No, but I'm working on it.
Okay. Listen, work in progress.
Yes.
Hair scarf on or off during sex?
Oh, on.
All right.
It may fall off, but I like to keep it together.
Me too. You be like, now hold on now. Now wait now.
Listen, and it depends on the hairstyle too. But yeah.
Exactly. There are different factors for it. Who takes longer to get ready?
Me. I got makeup, hair.
True. In our house, that went over there.
Listen, prime Kappa, man.
He wears me out, child. Which TV wife do you relate to the most? Claire Huxtable, the original Vivian from The Fresh Prince, Rochelle from Everybody Hates Chris, or Rainbow from Blackish?
Wow. Oh, that's so hard. For some reason, I'm naturally leaning towards the original on Vi.
On Viv?
Yeah, on Viv. Yeah, I think I'm not. I don't know.
You got the dance together.
I just like she was just real, but like I think I'm starting to tap into a little bit of bouginess, so that's why I thought about her too.
Not that you're starting to tap into it.
Huh?
Not that you said you're starting to tap into it.
I am. I deserve. But
yes.
But yeah, I would say, yeah, her.
I love it. Listen, tap into it, sis. Tap into it. Who has more clothes, you or him?
Me. You know that. Me.
Well, I just checking. Haven't seen your closet, but would love to one day.
Yes.
If you only had one choice, would you shop online, or in store?
Probably online.
Okay.
I would, because online has more options, and
True.
I'm a woman, so everything in store, especially now, stores are closing, going out. There's just more options online, and because I'm a style expert, I know how to buy stuff online that always work.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I love that. Who's Miss Tabby? She said Claire Huxtable maternal vibes with Olivia Pope's business savvy. Well, all right, Olivia. Okay.
It's handled.
I like a look good mixture. I consider myself
I,
a hybrid of Beyonce and Aya from Game of Thrones. But if you know, you know.
yes, I love that.
Well, unrelated to wife stuff, but just who I am personally.
Yeah.
Who's more likely to cook, you or him?
Me.
Can you throw down or no?
I can. He likes my food. You know, I'm not out here calling myself a chef. I like to cook, again, therapeutic for me. Like, after I close the computer for a day, I go downstairs and start cooking. That's my way to, I have my wine. That's my way to kind of wind down. So I cook more, so I'm most likely to cook. I'm most likely to cook wholesome meals and things. I like to look up recipes and all that type of stuff. He just sticks to what he sticks to. But yeah.
Yeah, I need more of that vibes of cooking is therapeutic because I struggle with that.
Look, the pandemic, it was the pandemic.
I still don't like it. I mean, I do it, but I don't really like it.
Wow.
Who's more likely to initiate cuddling?
Probably me.
Mm.
Probably, but he has his moments where he was like, honey, come in. Like, he has his moments too. But I tend to be a baby and I'm spoiled, so.
Daddy's girl.
I guess so. So I tend to
you said it, not me. You said it earlier. You was a daddy's girl.
I am. So that's a way of spoiling me, cuddling with me.
Oh, I love it. Okay, last question. What do you love most about being married?
Oh, so much. I love one on a personal individual note, I love how marriage uncovered and exposed certain parts of me to make me a better woman. Oftentimes people think, I mean, yes, you need to come into your marriage whole, you don't want to go into your marriage, broken and stuff, but you also have to be in a position where you allow yourself to be exposed in ways that's never been done before, because now you have this other person that's like, hey, you did X, Y, and Z, what's that all about or whatever. So I love having that bond and that relationship with someone who genuinely cares about me, to call me out on my stuff, and it helps me and builds me up to be a better person. And then the other thing, we have fun in our marriage. Like, it's just fun. Like, before pandemic, we would just go travel, and I think creating those experiences with each other. And it's so funny because I think it started with the first date and the car breaking down, because that was an experience. Like,
yes,
I was out way later than I thought I was going to be. But anyways, just creating those moments and those experiences with each other, just having all those memories is just amazing. So yeah, just having someone to do that with. Marriage life is awesome. I love it.
Yes, and we love it, and we love to say it.
Yeah.
And I love what you said about like how it uncovers and reveals a lot within yourself. Like, that is so true, because oftentimes, like you said, we think we have to be whole and complete, and it's like you got to have yourself together. But marriage has a way of like creating this mirror where you have to look at yourself, and you might uncover some deep-rooted things that you didn't even know were lying dormant within you. So I love that you said that, because it's just so transparent and genuine. So, this has been awesome, Shaquanna. Yes. Now, before we wrap, of course, I want you to grab your glass, tell everyone what you're toasting to, but also let the people know how they can find you, how they can connect with you, because you offer some wonderful consultations and just style expertise. So let the people know how they can contact you and what you can help provide for them.
Yes. So you want me to do that first? You want to do the toast first?
Let's do the toast first.
Okay. So I am toasting to all of the women who aspire to be married, who just got married, been married for a while. I'm toasting to you and your get up and get dressed journey, and getting dressed in the fullness of God, but also getting dressed to just uplift yourself and love on yourself first. So cheers.
Cheers. Clink, 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 clink. Mm.
I was like, yeah, I get to drink some wine tonight.
Yes. That's beautiful. I don't even have to say anything after that. Now, tell the people how they can find you, how you can help them with their style, up their style game, and help them to get up and get dressed.
Yeah. Yes, so definitely follow me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram the most, and I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm building up that strategy because that's where my clients are. But definitely connect with me here on Instagram. Follow me, DM me. I'm always very engaging. Make sure so every Wednesday I play What Would You Wear Wednesday. So you want to come on and jump on board, get in my community because we have lots of fun every week with that style game. And yeah, if you click the link in my bio, you can definitely set up a call with me, a style consultation. I help women, both corporate women, leaders, women in business. I help them transform their style so it can reflect and exemplify their true confidence and their power as they're going out and making an influence and an impact. So I do that through one of two ways: style coaching. So I actually coach you through the journey to becoming more stylish and teach you things about your own style and your own body so that years from now you know how to kind of navigate that whole getting dressed journey or routine. And then I also provide virtual styling and shopping experiences where if you want to add more items to your wardrobe, I work with you to make sure we include stylish, comfortable, and functional items in your wardrobe so you can get up and get dressed. And so speaking of that, the book is also in my bio. So both to set up a style consultation call with me or to purchase the book, go ahead and click the link in my bio and you can do both. So that's where you can find me.
Yes. When's the game? I've seen it a few times. What day is the game on?
It's on Wednesdays.
Okay.
What Would You Wear Wednesday?
Yay.
I 3 scenarios, and each scenario has 2 outfit options. And I'm asking you which outfit you would wear. And so every Wednesday, you have a chance to vote. And then on Thursday, I share the results and I share some good style tips and advice and some practical techniques on how to wear certain things to certain places. And it's lots of fun. Like, ladies, definitely follow so you can join in.
I love a good game. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, this has been incredible. Ladies, if you know someone or if you are wanting to get up and get dressed and like you feel yourself, especially you might be transitioning back to work or, you just want to get a little more pizzazz in your style or you're tired of wearing sweats or maybe you want to still have a party on the bottom and business up top. Shaquanna is your girl. So make sure y'all reach out to her. She has some wonderful things. Her book is incredible. So make sure you go and support. This is the last day of Women's History Month. So I'm so excited that you are closing this month out for Women's History Month because that's incredible. To all of you all who joined tonight, thank you so much. I will be back here again. If you're like, this was great. I love the girl talk. I had fun. Got to ask questions. Feel free to join me again the week after next. We are on a bi-weekly schedule. Wives Wind Down. You can catch us here on Wednesdays. And, of course, the replay will be here right after we wrap here. It'll be available on my IGTV. So share with a friend, tell someone, and bring a girl along next time you come. So with that said, Shaquanna, thank you so much just for being you and for exuding that beauty and that style and grace from within all the way out. So I appreciate you so much, and I'm so appreciative of our sisterhood and our friendship. And to everyone else, thank y'all so much, and I hope y'all have a fabulous week. And don't forget tomorrow to get up and get dressed.
Thank you, Shonda. I loved it. Have a good night.
Yes, you too. Bye, everyone.